Yes, yes, yes. Let me clear my throat. You are in tune to Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio. And this is Boxing Talk with Raphie. Okay, just realized my voice is a bit hoarse. Let me take a sip of what's in my cup. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now let's get the screen right. Let's get situated. Okay, what's gonna happen when I press this? What's gonna happen? Okay, nothing bad, nothing bad, nothing bad. Remain calm. Please do not leave your seats. Let's get the screen right. Come on now. Baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on. Where are we? Boom, boom, boom. And what a screen it is. What a screen it is. What a beautiful sight. How colorful. What a delight to the eye. The eyeballs, the retina. The retina, look at that. Crafted by Raphie's own fair hand. Okay, let me mute this because I want to move my mic and it squeaks. Okay, better positioning. Hello and welcome. And what's the topic? Let's get it up there. Un momento, mommy, slow your tempo. Let's do this. Let's do this. Paste. Create. Where is it? Is it there? Show. 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 Okay. So we got this. We got the thumbnail. We got the scroller. Now let's get into the sound check. Let's do this. Hope I've got my mic on. Hope I haven't left my mic off like I did last week around the same time. Okay. Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen. Okay. Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen. That sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. So I think everything is in order. Ship shape and Bristol fashion. Now let's just line these things up over here. Let's line that up. How'd that look? How you like me now? Oh, hold on a second. I forgot. One thing I forgot. Let's do this right now. Okay. Okay, everything looks good on that side. And we're here on this side. So what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. The Wizard Sleeves says, I hope Ngannou doesn't hurt Fury. I've got my 2mm driveway booked in for November. Talking about driveways, we're talking about paving slabs, we're talking about shoddy work. 2mm thick. OMG. Raphie did a bit of that one time for one summer, helping out a mate. Started up a little paving slab, a little paving business. It was interesting. I was shifting loads of slabs. Tell you what, it's not very nice on the back, but yeah, it's good work. It's nice when the job is complete and you can see your handiwork. Certainly not a 2mm job. Certainly not that. You gotta take pride in your work. If a job's worth doing, do it well. Okay, so everybody smash the like button on your way in as we proceed to give you what you need. Okay, so where are we going to start? Where are we going to start with this shiznix? Let's have a little looky. Okay, well, why don't we start here? Good a place as any. Let me share my screen. Okay, hold on. Before I do that, let's copy the link. Let's drop the link in. Boom, boom, boom. Let's share it. Actually, I could have done it a different way. I could have found out something. Okay, this is as good a place to start as any. Let's get into it. Okay, so today is the day when we had the, where is it? There it is. We had the Joshua Whyte press conference. I think, was it the same day? Was it today when they did the Usyk Dubois press conference? Well, I first saw it today, so I think it may have been a double header. I think there may have been two press conferences today. Joshua v. Whyte and Usyk versus Dubois over there in Poland. Okay? And Alexander Krasuk had something to say, something very interesting to say regarding the big Dasa, Tyson Fury, big belly. It was very interesting. Bruce, Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more up in the building. How do you do? The Wizard Sleeves. How do you do? Okay, so Krasuk had something to say about greedy belly. Okay, so let's get into that. Make sure you can see that on the screen. Sound check is complete. and we are ready for launch. Hit that like button if you're just in, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and we proceed. Okay, so Tyson Fury reacts to Alexander Usyk's promoter saying his WBC title should be stripped if he faces Francis Ngannou. I've done the video on that. Feel free to check it out, not now, but later after the show. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's see the full story. Okay, so Tyson Fury reacted with amusement to Alexander Usyk's promoter, Alex Krasuk, saying that he should be stripped of his WBC heavyweight title if he goes ahead with his plans on fighting former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou in an exhibition match next. Okay, so Fury pointed out that he doesn't have a mandatory due with the WBC, so he doesn't need to worry about being stripped. Last year, Fury defeated his then mandatory Dillian Whyte by 6th round KO. Okay, and with that said, the timing isn't ideal for Fury to go for a money grab circus level fight against Ngannou because the 6'9" Gypsy King failed in his attempts to negotiate a fight with Usyk. Okay, so in both talks, Fury played hardball, making and seemingly shooting himself in the foot by setting deadlines, ridiculous purse splits, and rematch clauses, then taking rematch clauses out. What's left for Fury is a dwindling fan base who wanted to see him take a quality tune-up before his undisputed championship fight with the unified champion Alexander Usyk from the Ukraine in the Saudi Arabia this year, in December. Okay, so Fury fighting Ngannou, an MMA guy, in an exhibition rumored to have a no knockdown and no knockout rule, is pure poison for Luke Fury. Luke Fury's popularity. While the exhibition could make money thanks to the oddity of it, it makes Fury look like he's already got one foot out of the door into retirement, says the writer. There are a lot of unknown, irrelevant people talking about how I should be stripped of my belt, said Tyson Fury on social media. What does it say here? I don't have a mandatory. When I do have a mandatory, it'll be dealt with, just like every other mandatory that I've had until then. Keep on hating and enjoying the little tiny bit of money that you guys are making while the big G is in the house. What the hell? In which house? What's he talking about? Who's the big G? Is he trying to tell us something? The truth is, Fury has only ever had one WBC mandatory, and that was Dillian Whyte. He says he's dealt with every mandatory, which is misleading because there's only ever been one. And that was, a journeyman? You're going to call Whyte a journeyman? Dang. Who arguably had no business being his mandatory after he was knocked out in the 5th round of the Alexander Povetkin fight in 2020. Dang. That's harsh, but that's what they're saying. People keep asking me to say something bad about Tyson Fury fighting Ngannou. It's disappointing for boxing, but I don't blame him, said promoter Eddie Hearn. He's making a boatload of money to have an exhibition fight, but for me, exhibition fight happens when your career is done. You chase legacy. You chase greatness first. If you really cared about his legacy, he'd be fighting Alexander Usyk, wouldn't he? Whether it's 70 or 80 million, does it really matter? Does it really matter? It looks like Fury has mentally checked out of his career since his win over Deontay Wilder. His wins over Deontay Wilder. And he should just be he's just looking to cash out at this point, letting the greed of the big belly take over. The article goes on to say one gets the sense that Tyson Fury no longer sees boxing as a sport for him, but rather an opportunity for him to make as much easy money as is humanly possible. Hence him setting impossible negotiation terms for his fights with Joshua and Usyk, moving on with other money endeavors. OMG. They're saying this. If you believe you can win and go down as one of the best heavyweights in our generation, that win would enable him, Fury, to do that. So I don't knock him for taking the Ngannou fight. It's not one that I'd be interested in, but I guess people will watch. And I wish him all the best. Hearn fails to realize that the mentality Fury is the polar opposite of fighters like Joshua, and he doesn't seem to care about the legacy stuff. It's all about the money.
There's a lot of unknown, irrelevant people talking about how I should be stripped to my belt. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't have a mandatory. When I do have a mandatory, it'll be dealt with, just like every other mandatory I've ever had. Until then, keep on hating, motherfuckers! And enjoy tiny bit of money that you guys are making. All the big G's in the house!
OMG. I didn't realize you'd actually made a video on this. Okay, let's take a second listen.
Hey guys, a little bit of clarification. There's a lot of unknown, irrelevant people talking about how I should be stripped to my belt. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't have a mandatory. When I do have a mandatory, it'll be dealt with, just like every other mandatory I've ever had. Until then, keep on hating, motherfuckers! And enjoy tiny bit of money that you guys are making. All the big G's in the house!
The big G is in the house. Well, apparently not. The big G is not in the house, is he? And that's the problem. He's not in the house. He's not competing with the best of the crop. He ain't doing it. Just ain't doing it. He ain't cutting it. He ain't cutting it. He ain't doing it, and he ain't cutting it. So it's kind of crazy, y'all. What we got here? Let's have a look. Let's have a little looky. There is this thing. Boom, boom, boom. Is that up? Yeah. You see what I can see? Uncle Burnt apostrophe up in the building. I can't stand that clown. OMG. Evening Raphie, it's getting worse. Fury's an oxygen thief. Says the wizard sleeve. OMG. How you doing, wizard? It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this fella, Luke. He says he's fought the best. Fought Chisora. December 22, fought Dillian Whyte. April 22, fought Deontay Wilder. October 21. And before that, what was it? 21? Yeah, and before that, Deontay Wilder, February 20. So, what year was this? Okay. 2 fights in 2019. Actually, let's go back from when he came back. Okay, so Vladimir Klitschko was supposed to give him a rematch, disappeared with his nandrolone, and said he was retired. Okay, so he didn't give Vladimir Klitschko the rematch. And as you know, over here at the RDCR, I say you win the belt, you win the title when you have defended it. You gotta defend it first. Fury won it, but didn't defend it. OMG, what's this? Can you even see? Can you even see this shizzle? Okay, so that's Vladimir Klitschko. 2015, disappeared. Had a retrospective drug ban. When he came back, that was what? November 2015, Vladimir Klitschko. And then June 2018. Is this June? The Americans do it different. Well, this is the month, right? Yeah, I think it's the month. It's got to be the month. Okay, this is fine. So I came back June 2018. How long was that out the ring? That's the 2016. Yeah, that's 2.5 years out of the ring. Then comes back against Sefer Fury, Manchester Arena. Fair enough. Francesco Pianetta. That was August 2018. And then 2018, December. Okay. December 2018, fought Deontay Wilder to a draw. Deontay Wilder was a champion, WBC champion. He held on to his championship by virtue of the draw. Okay. That was December 2018. Then June, 6 months later, 2019, he fights Tom Schwartz. I think he pulled in a couple of thousand people. The rest of the tickets were comped. There's about 4,000 people in attendance for that. The T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, putting around similar amount. When was this? This was September of 2019. 3 months later, fought Otto Wallin, got a terrible cut over the eye, then one under the eye. It was a gaping wound. Anybody else that fight, the referee would have stopped the fight. But they let it go on. Could have ruined his career. But he got some good plastic surgery work on it and he seemed to survive. That fight went the full distance. Versus Otto Wallin. That's September 2019. And then, 5 months later? 5 months later, 2020. February 2022, he fought and beat Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder went on to blame everybody, the drunk ref, his disloyal trainer who spiked his water, the horseshoe, the egg white in the gloves. Went on to accuse everybody. Then got Malik Scott in as his new trainer. And took a more sustained beating. Nobody threw in the towel for him then. That was in October, the end of the year. End of what? That wasn't even 2021. No, that was 2022. So he took a year and a half out. Just over a year and a half out to fight Deontay Wilder, holding up the division for a damn year and a half. OMG. For Dillian Whyte. His one and only mandatory in his whole damn career. How was that? April 2022. But if he hasn't had any fights since, he fought Derek Chisora. In December 2022. But they could make another mandatory. It's been over a year since he fought a mandatory. They could make another mandatory. There was talk of him making a mandatory. Jose Suleiman was over in the UK talking about the mandatory, had a meeting with Frank Warren about a mandatory, and then came out and said, no, there will be no mandatory for Tyson Fury at this time. So talking about he's always fought his mandatories. What the hell is that all about? He's always fought his mandatories. What mandatories? What mandatories are you talking about, mate? What are you on? What are you on? Those people who just come in, they haven't heard the word. These are the words of Tyson Fury. Okay, one more time with feeling.
Hey guys, a little bit of clarification. There's a lot of unknown, irrelevant people talking about how I should be stripped to my belt. Ha ha! Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't have a mandatory. When I do have a mandatory, it'll be dealt with, just like every other mandatory I've ever had. Until then, keep on hating, motherfuckers! And enjoy little tiny bit of money that you guys are making. All the big G's in the house.
The big G's in the house. The big G is not in the house. The big G is not in the house at all. The big G ain't playing. The big G don't want to fight Usyk. Done everything in his power not to. And that's a shame. That is a shame. What we're looking at here. Got people in the house. Philip Carl Roberts is in the house saying hello to people. The Wizard Sleeves. Far too much credit for beating. A beat nobody. Twerker. Who was too scared to fight anybody else. Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. Many true words said in jest, but Deontay Wilder was too scared to fight the likes of Anthony Joshua. Too scared to fight the likes of Dillian Whyte. He said so himself. So I'll keep you waiting for 2 years. That's what he said to Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte showed the text to Akam Barak to prove it on video. It's on tracks. It's on wax. Okay. You hear me? I've been calling you Jimmy. I thought it was Jimmy. Saying it's Jimmy. Damn. Okay, Jimmy. Was it a mistake putting AJ Whyte 2 on PPV and charging the fans £27, €31, $35 for this? It could have been on regular DAZN. It would have done huge numbers and helped build the app in the British market. Yeah, was it a mistake? Was it a mistake? Well, apparently the fight sold out. As soon as the tickets went on, they got snapped up. And also some cats were saying they were thinking about going. Well, damn. Might be out of luck, but obviously there'll be some tickets on the secondary ticket markets, no doubt. So yeah, still doable. You can still go. Don't play again. Had to play to gain. Philip Carl Roberts, I detest Fury, but he has no mandatory. It's no surprise that he's ducking Usyk to fight someone who is not even a boxer. Yeah. Yeah, it's no surprise, but it's very unfortunate. My take on it is, how the hell can a reigning champion just up and decide that now he's gonna fight an exhibition match? We've heard people screaming that they've wanted to see an undisputed heavyweight champion. They've been waiting for years, dying to see this shizzle. And now we have the opportunity, and one guy evidently just don't want it. There's only two guys in the equation, and one guy don't want it. That guy goes by the name of Luke Fury. Ducking, undisputed. When you look in the press, it's quite ironic. It's quite ironic because you get Anthony Joshua's getting flack from this side, from that side, from the likes of your Carl Froch, flat earther Carl Froch, who has got to be one of the biggest Anthony Joshua haters in the game. Makes you wonder why. I didn't follow his career. Didn't follow Carl Froch's career, so he never really was a feature to me. Never really was a thing to me. But other people may hold him in higher regard than I. So his word may carry a little bit weight, but it don't carry no weight to mine. I just see him for what he clearly is. And he's an Anthony Joshua hater, and that's all good, but I never clicked on one. I've never clicked on one of his videos. I don't see me doing so anytime in the future. The guy clearly ain't balanced. You got a guy who's running away from undisputed, and every now and then he'll say something negative about him. And then you have another guy who was proved and shown willing, sent contracts to them other two cats. And their response is no bueno. I always find a way out. They always find a way out. So you got the big Luke, the greedy belly, who Carl Froch only occasionally says a negative word about, running away from undisputed, but every day he's got something bad to say about the guy who tried to make undisputed umpteen times, only to be greeted with a no from the other two Dussers. The Deontay Wilder and the Luke Fury. Tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. OMG. Okay, so what's going on? The pay-per-view is a disgrace, says Philip Carl Roberts. Yeah, there has been some upset voices. I understand. Can't say I'm happy with the price point, $26.99. Nah, seems a bit steep. I would have liked, like Jimmy said, I would have liked it to be on standard DAZN. But as financial markers they want to meet. Joshua wants to get paid. Maybe they could have put it in the stadium and had a lower price point for the PPV. But I guess I think they're looking at commercial concerns. But yeah, I'd rather it not have been PPV. Prince Fury giving Prince Patel a good run for the most dislikable fighter from these shores. Yeah, I don't really watch Prince Patel. Don't really give him none of the Raphie's time. Let me take a sip of what's in my cup. Raphie's thirsty somehow. Aqua. Okay, so where are we now? Let's come out of that. Let me go over to the YouTube screen. Okay, everything looks correct and copper set. As a matter of fact, rat-a-tat-tat, let me go in through the back door. See what's going on through the back door. Let's check a few things. Make sure everything is correct. In shape and correct. Let's have a look at this here. Okay. Everything seems in order. Uh-oh. Let's get out of that. Get out of that. I'm trying to escape from this damn thing. Why am I trapped? Okay, we're good. What the hell? Never heard about this. Damn. Okay. Well, let's bring this. We're at the Raphael Dawkins. We're at the Combat Radio. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. You know, we keep on bringing you the exclusives over here on Boxing Talk with Raphie. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I think it's really 45, 50 pounds. You've got to have the zone. Got to have the zone sub first. Do you? Anything half decent gets dumped on the fans. You have to have a DAZN subscription first. Dime. Okay. That's rough. This breaking news just in. Dimitri Bivol versus Anthony Yarde in the works for October. OMG. It's a surprise to me. When was this published? Today. I hadn't seen this, just come across this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what it says. Okay, so Eddie Hearn says he's made an offer to two-time world title challenger Anthony Yarde to fight WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol in October. Okay, so Bivol, 32, has been injured recently, and that's kept him inactive. He had been waiting to see if Canelo Alvarez would choose to rematch him in September, but the Mexican star has chosen to go the PBC route. Hearn said he recently made an offer to the number 2 WBA Dan Aziz to fight Bivol, but he chose not to take it, as such an offer has now been made to Yarde, who is coming off a good showing against IBF, WBC and WBO 175-pound champion, light heavyweight, Arthur Beterbiev. Last January. What do you mean last January? This January. January just gone. Hearn likes what he saw of the 31-year-old Yarde in that fight, because he was ahead on the scorecards at the time he was knocked out by Beterbiev in the 8th. Okay, so if Yarde had been a little more cautious, he could have overcome the sneaky right hand that Beterbiev hurt him with. While some might say that Yarde should focus on rebuilding his career after his loss to Beterbiev, it would take him many years, if ever, before he gets another chance to fight for a world title again. It would be a mistake for Yard to turn down this opportunity, says the writer. I don't think it'd take him years. Would it take him years? It's a light heavyweight division. It's not exactly a glamour division. And Yard has built up a name for himself. You know what I mean? Against Kovalev with some modified instructions. I think he could have took him out. But he had to empty the tank. I think that team has become more sophisticated since that. They're built. They've got better. They've got stronger. They've got more wisdom. They've acquired some wisdom. They've acquired a veteran in the shape of Cook, James Cook, MBE. So they've acquired a veteran in the camp, and it's made a difference. Not the only difference, but it has made a positive impact on the camp. So I think they're older, they're wiser. So, and yeah, Yard has built up a name for himself. So yeah, I'd watch that for sure. Whilst others, I think Boatsi had a chance to go for Bivol. Didn't accept it. You know, he's way back in the pack now. On the way back, or maybe not too far back, but you know, the landscape has changed. So, you know, when you have the opportunity for this kind of thing, sometimes you just got to bite down your gum shield and take it. Even if you feel it's a little premature, it's a little early. Hey, if it's a nice payday and you got good defensive skills so you don't lose too many brain cells, I say, hell, go for it. As long as you can defend yourself at the very least. Know what I mean? Okay, he's going to fight in October. He's had an injury. I said to guys the other day, you people think he's just not fighting. He's had an injury. He'll be ready for October, says Eddie Hearn. He made an offer to Dan Aziz. He chose not to take it. Oh, what do I think about that? I think that's a bit early for Dan Aziz. I think that's a little bit early. He's got some domestic guys that he can go in against. I think it's a bit early. A bit early for Dan Aziz. A bit early. It wasn't offered to promoter Ben Shalom. Frank Smith had half a dozen conversations with Dan Aziz and made him offers for that fight. He's a free agent. And Frank Smith had about 5 or 6 conversations with him and made him an offer. If he's not a free agent, I think we'd have a legal. But he didn't want to take the fight. So we'll offer it to Anthony Yard. He's got another fight with us, said Hearn when asked how many more fights Bivol has with Matchroom Boxing. OMG. Very interesting turn up for the books. I'd actually like to see that one. Okay, let's get back into the chat. What's going on? It's not like you can pay for just the boxing with the zone subscription. You pay for a bunch of sports you don't even want as well. Yeah, I haven't really been watching it that much. I haven't really been watching it that much. Compared to the US PPVs, our prices are a bargain. They are indeed. You know, you got to add the subscription on top. You got to add the fact that you probably need a whole bunch of subscriptions. You need BT, you need the Zone, and you need Sky. to get full coverage. So amongst all of those, what are you talking? 50, 60, 70 pounds, between 60 and 70 pounds a month. That's not even with the added fees for the PPVs. So yeah, it's still works out at a lot of money. £50 is approaching US prices though. Yep. Well, yeah, it's £50 is just the one subscription. You know, but when you add in BT Sports, when you add in Sky Sports, that's some money. That's some money. Let's do a little poll anyway. Let's do a little poll. Let's do a little poll going. I love your polls. What's that cat's name? Baturbiev. Question mark. Yay, nay, indifferent. Okay, let's ask the people. Get the poll in. Would you welcome Baturbiev versus Yard? Yay, nay, or indifferent? Ask the community. Ask the community. Plus our base subs are generally high if you want to watch everything. Sky BT, etc. Indeed. That's what I thought, bro. I don't know. That's what I thought, bro. I don't know. What does it say? I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can get any DAZN PPV without a subscription. Yeah, we need some clarification on that, but that's what I thought. A good fight, hopefully. Yard can bring his experience in to the table and give Bivol a good scrap. Yeah, hopefully. There's a poll. Take part in the poll. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that share button. Okay. The more I think you can order it through your Sky remote. Yeah, I think you can just order the PPV. I think you can just order the PPV. Joseph N. up in the building. Anthony Yard versus Bivol. Let's go. You mean, all right, Baturbiev. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to have to scrap the poll. I wrote Baturbiev. Can you edit the poll? Let's have a look. No, you can't. I'm going to have to scrap it. You're going to have to scrap it and do it again. Rip it up and start again. What was the question? Would you welcome? Would you welcome Bivol versus Yard? Yay, nay, indifferent. Ask the community. Would you welcome Bivol versus Yard? Yay, nay, indifferent. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Okay. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Hit the love button. Hit the 100% button. Go on. Have a blast. Okay. Where are we? Can't even see it on that screen. Okay. The poll is there. Get on into it. Hope Anthony Yard keeps working on his defense, says Joseph N. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, those are the comments thus far. Let's bring that down. That's a surprise to me, but a very pleasant surprise. Didn't know about that. What you know about that? Okay. What's on my screen now? Let's change that up. Boom. 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 Okay. Let's have a look what's on the topic sheet. Joshua v. Whyte, have we really spoke about that yet? Usyk versus Dubois, have we spoke about that yet? We spoke about Fury and the people who say he should give up the belt. Should he give up the belt? Well, listen, if you ain't going to fight for it, why not? Why not give up the belt? What are you doing? You held it up for a year and a half. You held it up for years with Wilder. You held it up for years with Wilder. Now what you doing? Now you're holding up undisputed. What the hell? What the hell is the game plan? What are you on? What are you on? It's crazy, yo. Every time I move the mic, I gotta mute the mic, or else it makes an awful racket. Let's have a look. I'm excited for Beterbiev v. Smith and Inouye v. Fulton. Beterbiev v. Smith. Smith? Is that the cat I'm thinking about? If it is, he gets wiped out. Oh, you're talking about Callum Smith. Oh, yeah. There's another Smith guy. That would have been a bad matchup. He'd have got took out quick. But Callum Smith. Yeah, Callum Smith's talking about, he thinks he can, hold on. Yeah, Callum Smith's talking about he thinks he can knock out Beterbiev. Hey, it's not impossible. What do I think about Beterbiev? I think Beterbiev's on the slide. What is he, 37? I think Beterbiev's 37. He ain't no spring chicken, and he ain't getting any younger. Beterbiev has had injuries. Is he missing half a step? No. But I think he's missing a quarter of a step. Anthony Yard was up on the scorecards in that fight. On their scorecards, I can't remember what my scorecard said. I think I need to start using a scorecard app so I can just pull it up on my phone. Presumably, they will keep your previous scorecards so you can just bank. I can just bank all my scorecards and just at the flick of a button. At the flip of a button, I can just open my flip phone, get it up on the app, and I can tell you exactly what my score was. I can't remember what my score was. I need to get on that. I need to get on an app. I need to start checking them out. But I hate adding additional apps on my phone, but I think that's a worthwhile one. Just for the convenience. Yeah, Callum Smith. So what do I think? What's my prediction? Callum Smith looks really good. Now he's come up to light heavyweight. He looks really good. And remember, he's training under the tutelage now of Bud, or is it Bud McGirt? Bud McGirt. So, and he's a good trainer, McGirt. Can't remember his first name, McGirt. He's a really good trainer, and Callum Smith has looked really good in his last outings. So I think the lack of the weight draining, I think it works in Callum Smith's favor. And of course, he's long and rangy. So, yes, that'll be a heck of a fight. Who would I go with? I would still have Better Beef as the favorite. But, you know what I say? Put your money on the underdog in most cases. Well, that's where the money is, clearly. Okay, let's have a look. Apparently, Chisora is fighting on the Joshua Whyte 2 card. Chisora let slip during an interview. No opponent named. Dang. I would love to see Chisora just retire. He's been an excellent servant to the game. He's brought color to the game, controversy to the game. He's brought some of the most wacky, outrageous, shocking, surprising moments. He's brought flying tables. Not that I condone flying tables at press conferences. He got glossed. He got glossed by David Hay. What else did he do? He slapped. Was it Vitaly Klitschko squirted water and Vladimir Klitschko, or the other way around, whatever. And he's brought us some unexpected moments. What did he do when he gave Alexander Usyk one hell of a fight? Had Usyk holding on like he was holding on to a flagpole in a hurricane. Grabbing on, hanging on for dear life, looking to the referee for help. That was quite hilarious. He really brought it. What else? He beat Joseph Parker in the first fight, which totally surprised me. I thought he'd get totally outclassed by Parker. I didn't even think he'd be competitive. There on my scorecard, when I do the full tally, I had Derek Chisora winning. Was it by 1 round? I need the app. OMG, bro. I wish he'd retire. Come on now. Your brain cells thus far seem to be holding up. You seem lucid. How long does Derek Chisora push it? Come on, brother. You've made your money. You haven't made Joshua money. Dillian Whyte said at the press conference, I need some money, man. I need to make some Joshua money. It won't be Joshua money, but you've done very well. You've made your millions. And what I like about Chisora, he hasn't bought some expensive house in London. He's taken an expensive house in London. It's not even like an expensive house elsewhere. It's just a house in London is expensive. If you haven't done that, you've gone out and bought yourself a damn farm. A damn farm with horses and cows and stables, livestock. Smartest thing ever. Why the hell you're going to make a lot of money and spend a lot of money on a house in London with a little, maybe not even a front garden, just a back garden, when you could buy yourself a nice little farm out in the country, in the countryside, fields all around. It's far more sensible an option. I don't often agree with Billy Joe Saunders, but he did the same thing. Got himself a farm. I've never seen that farm, though. I only heard people speak about it. But, hey, you got a countryside around you. It's a perfect thing to do. Obviously, buy some investment property to rent out, Airbnbs, residential, business. Well, business sector's down at the moment, so maybe not that. But yeah, put your money in things that will get you money. Don't put your money into things that are only going to cost you more money. Those are liabilities. Put your money in things that will bring in an income. You know what I mean? Not to say that Tesora's farm is a going concern, but at least you got cows on there. At least you got livestock. Maybe some goats. Maybe some sheep. Yeah? So, at the very least, the produce can pay for itself. At least that. So you ain't losing money. You're still making a little bit of money. At least you're covering your overheads, your expenses. At the very least. I got Better Beef and Inoue winning their fights. Inoue versus Fulton. That's an interesting one. Callum Smith. Yep. Callum. I think I was thinking of Joe Smith for a second there. What's going on? It's been a good year thus far. Damn well has. Could be 38, but Turbiev could be 38. OMG. Philip Roberts right. Smith has a chance early on. He has the power to trouble Turbiev, but I can't see Smith winning. Yeah, he's got power to trouble him for sure. It's not that Smith can't win. It's just that I think the Turbiev will have too much for him. But I say put your money on Smith. That's where the odds will be. That's where you get the better odds. That's where you can make some more night. So I think Turbiev was going to win, but our money will go on Smith. Turbiev is past his prime, but I think he's got enough in the tank to handle Smith. Yeah. If you watch Munguia versus Derevyanchenko, I still haven't got around to watching that, bro. I know it was an all-out war. I watched the other fight that night. I think it was Taylor versus Teofimo. Yes, it was Taylor versus Teofimo. That's the one that I watched. But I need to go back and watch Munguia versus Derevyanchenko. I need to watch that one. I heard that it was a barnstormer. Blistering entertainment. Okay. So what am I doing here? I'm going to go check. I'm going to go in through the back door. See what's going on. Make sure that everything is ship shape and Bristol fashion. So have a look at that. Okay, that seems in order. What we're doing now seems like we've ripped through a lot of these topics. Hold on, where's the poll? Where is the poll? Let's have a look at the poll. Going through these topics at a rapid rate of knots. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Take part in the poll because I want to close that down and do another poll. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, I'll give that a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and end the poll. I'm going to have to reload that, refresh that page so I can do another one and another one. Is that the poll results right there? Okay, well, let's get those up on the screen. Boom. Shake the room. Okay, don't do mushrooms. Okay. Would you welcome versus Yard. 0% said indifferent. 0% said no. And 100% said yes, I would welcome Bivol versus Yard. Okay, so that's a yes. Will Frank Warren let Yard fight over on the zone though? That's a big one. That's an interesting one because you know there's going to be some M's in it for Yard. There's going to be some M's in it for Yard, so he's going to want to take that fight. What's Frank Warren's position in this? He can veto it. He can put the kibosh on it. OMG. That would be an interesting one. That would put the cat among the pigeons. I wonder how many shoulder rolls old Fisheye is going to do when he hears the news. We're going to need to can't click the link at the top. Let me drop in. Let me drop the link in again. Let's have a look. No, that's not it. That's not it. Let's get it in. Invite. Copy. Boom. 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 Okay. So there it is. That's the mind you might have problems. You might have problems clicking that one because you got the love art in the way and the 100% in the way. But no, you can click it from the side. You can click it from the side. So how many shoulder rolls is old Fisheyes gonna do when he hears about this offer from what's his name? Eddie Hearn. Well, I guess Eddie's dealing with what's his name? Francis. Eddie Hearn's dealing with Francis. Now think about it. Francis is just Frank. Maybe Frank's a Francis too. Maybe Francis is Frank Jr. OMG. OMG. Okay. So, what was that? What was that poll? What was that poll we just finished? Let's get another poll up in there. Where is it? Where are we? Start another poll. Let me readjust. Let me readjust my seating. Okay. Let's just readjust this while I'm writing up the poll. Let's welcome in the John D. Lee. John D. Lee, how do you do? Oh, John D. Lee's not ready yet.
Can you hear me, Raph?
I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. What's your sound? Your sound quality isn't optimal.
Is it not?
It's okay. I can still hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm in the car, to be honest.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Thanks for jumping on, joining us.
Yeah.
Have you been listening to the show or you just jumped in?
I've got as far as the Bibble poll. I voted.
Okay. All of the gang. Talk to us about Bivol versus
Well, I think the most salient point is Frank Warren's not going to let it happen. There's no way.
Yeah.
It'd be a good fight. It'd be an entertaining fight. I'd like to see it, but I think a lot of the problems we're seeing across the board with Tyson Fury has actually got as much to do with Frank as it has to do with Fury, to be honest.
How so?
Because, for example, when AJ rematched Usyk in Saudi,
yeah,
the Saudis bought the rights for the TV as part of the site deal.
Yeah.
So the pay-per-view was on Sky. So when they put all that cash up, they auction off the fight. So that means you run the risk as a promoter for it not being on your platform.
Yeah.
DAZN's less affected by that because they've got territories everywhere. So if they don't have the UK rights, they can still have lots of other rights and make money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas Frank Warren's got BT or whatever it's called now, it's called TNT or something.
TNT, yeah, something crazy.
Yeah. So I think that's a real problem, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Frank only wants to put content on his platforms, unless it's not. It's like the BBC.
Lost John Daly. Can't hear him at all. Maybe the signal is dipped out. Maybe he's got Tesco Wi-Fi. OMG. Dipped out for a second, dipped back in. What's going on? Can we hear him? Can we hear the John Daly? No, can't hear him just at the minute.
Sorry, Raph.
Yeah, we got you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you back.
So basically, what I was saying is, unless it's not one of his main people,
Yeah.
Frank wants the fights on BT or TNT, and he's blocking. That's why I don't think Usyk's happening in Saudi, because it's not going to be on their platform.
You don't think Usyk Fury is happening in Saudi?
No, and I think the reason that it's not happening is because Frank doesn't want to lose the rights to the fight or have no rights at all.
Yeah.
So I think if that big site fee was to come up, the rights would get auctioned off. And I think that's been the reason that AJ Fury didn't happen as well.
So it's got to be on. It's got to be on BT. It's got to be on BT TNT for Frank Warren.
Well, look at what they did to get the Dillian Whyte fight on then, rather than go to, even though it went to purse bids. They went over and above anything they've ever done.
Yeah.
To the point where you and I didn't actually believe the size of the purse.
No, I don't believe the size of the purse. It's easily fudged. It's easily fudged.
Exactly. But I mean, it also makes me suspicious that Frank's got somebody on the inside giving information about other people's purses so that he could outbid him. Because the amount that they outbid Eddie Hearn by wasn't much, was it? It was tight. It was very tight.
Are we going into conspiracy realm mode?
Well, I mean, it's been well documented, the corruption in the British Boxing Board of Control. It used to be run by Mickey Duff and the cartel. And then when Michael Watson was going to sue them, Frank basically got them in his pocket by covering off the cost of it, didn't he? Yeah. And ever since then, Frank's really had them in his pocket.
Corruption in boxing. Corruption. Frank Warren expose. You think the Frank Warren's got his fingers in a number of dodgy pies, don't you?
Well, I mean, it's not like he's Lenny McLean's cousin, isn't he? It's not like he's a clean individual.
Yeah. But there is a video. There is a video on the channel, folks, of Frank Warren discussing Frank Warren's early unlicensed days. So if you type in Frank Warren unlicensed boxing, there is a video on this very channel which covers that.
I mean, the parallels with Bricktop aren't just that they sound and look alike. Let's put it like that.
The parallels with who and Bricktop?
Bricktop and Frank Warren.
Bricktop. Who the hell's Bricktop?
You never seen Snatch?
Oh, which character is he though?
He's the horrible guy
who
has Turkish in his pocket.
I know.
The
He's
horrible cockney guy with the glasses.
yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, he talks like that, talks out the side of his mouth, like, and he talks like he's gonna foam at the mouth at any second, like, yeah, with the glasses and the camel hair coat, yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Coat hanger in the aerial, you know. Bring back the coat hanger in the
Yeah, they
aerial.
don't just
So
sound alike.
yeah.
Sorry, my internet went there.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
Tesco internet, man. That Tesco Wi-Fi.
Well, possibly. Possibly. I mean, I think it's because I'm in the car.
The Tesco Wi-Fi and a car, deadly combination. OMG. We still appreciate you. Still appreciate you coming on in. What's this here? It literally is Frank. Yeah, that guy. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, but he's a little bit more leery than Frank, though. To be fair, a little bit more leery.
Only a little bit, Raphie.
Who
Only a
wins?
little bit.
Who wins, Joshua or Whyte? Apparently, Joshua Whyte has sold out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I think the result will be similar to the last fight, to be honest.
Right.
I think Dillian's punch resistance has only got worse.
Yeah. 20% of people. 20% of people saying a draw.
Well, I think there's this idea that AJ's got a terrible chin.
Yeah.
But when he has been stopped, he was stopped on his feet. Whereas when we've seen Dillian stops, he's been completely out cold.
He's been sparkle.
Absolute sparkle. Yeah. And he's been dropped a lot more times than AJ has.
Yeah.
And I think AJ is a bigger puncher, and I think he's got better fundamentals and balance.
I think he's got better fundamentals.
I like Dillian.
He's over there. Joshua's over there in Dallas under Derrick James's tutelage. And if it's one thing you can say for Derrick James, he does work the fundamentals.
Yeah. But I mean, for this particular fight, it's all about basically setting traps so you can drop the uppercut on Dillian. And you've got to be crafty with it, because obviously Dillian knows that's his weakness. It's not like it's a secret, is it?
For real.
You've got to be crafty with it, and that will be the real intrigue in it for me. I mean, I'm not ruling that Dillian can punch, and it's heavyweight boxing.
For real.
I think it'll be an entertaining fight, but for me personally, I think it's a fairly straightforward victory for AJ. Really, he's got too many advantages. He's got length, he's got footwork, he's got speed. Like Dillian's feet are slow, and his balance is bad.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't like Dillian has got a puncher's chance, and I think he'll create an entertaining fight. And it's not that Dillian doesn't have skill, but in this situation, I just think he's outgunned across the board. I don't just mean by power. It's like AJ can keep it long, frustrate him, and get him coming in, and keep throwing a left hook at him to make him complacent, and then just drop that uppercut when he's got the timing down on the left hook and just switch it up.
For real.
Or he can set the table, as you like to say. Because Dillian's got to come to him. If AJ decides to fight on his back foot, he's got like a good reach advantage on him.
For real, for real.
In the heavyweight division, not at the level they.
What's going on here? I'm getting some. I think I'm.
That's not me.
No, it's me. I'm trying to do something.
We could have gone a bit bigger, but the O2 Arena's, I think, one of the best venues in the world when it comes to boxing.
But I mean, I think it's a good fight. It's not, you know, for the activity level that AJ is trying to keep. I think it's a respectable fight.
Yeah, it is. It is. I want to just try and get some sound bites here. Play them for the people.
Well, there's one that I found interesting. One statement that he made.
Yeah.
And he made it on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
When he was asked about the Wilder fight, he basically called Wilder a time waster and said he's not waiting for Wilder. So
he said the same about Fury and Wilder he's talking about.
No, but when he was specifically asked about this fight and then having the Wilder fight booked in afterwards, why are you taking a dangerous fight?
Yeah.
He said, I'm not waiting for Wilder. He's messed me about too much. And it's good to hear him say that as well.
Yeah. Well, more than that, he said that he's not concerned with them other guys. You know.
He's called him time waste.
Wilder, and he mentioned Fury in this particular instance by name, and he said, you know, you've seen what's happened with trying to negotiate with them guys. You know, certain guys don't want it, whereas I'm out here and I want it. That's the difference between me and them. Certain guys talk like they want it, but they don't want it. That's the difference between me and them. So your Carl Froches of the world can go and shove that where the sun don't shine.
Carl, the hate is real.
The hate is seeping out of his pores. I feel sorry for his missus waking up in a bed full of hate. It's just the room must just be, you know. Has you got a crush? You know. Sometimes
I think so.
Sometimes people have a crush on people, and then they just say, "I hate him." You know what I'm saying? He's like a little girl comes from school. And, oh, I don't like Damien. Yeah, really? Okay. You know, we talk about Damien every day. What's going on? Come on, Frochie. Come on, Frochie. If you've got a bit of LGBTQ, MD, whatever it is in you, then just come on out, my friend. Come on out. LGBT, WD40, come on out with it, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Because you've got a man too much. He's just too much up in the guy's psyche.
Raphie?
Yeah.
There's a saying that I think covers this. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
You know, Froch, he's an embarrassment. He's just an embarrassment to himself. Carl Froch is an embarrassment. You know what I mean? To himself.
The level of delusion the man lives under. He actually said that he would be the hero that stops Tommy Fury. Oh no, Jake Paul, sorry. Jake Paul.
The hero.
Carl, you're not anybody's hero.
For real.
Nobody's behind you anymore. You're just a bitter man with a nose job. That's it.
And some new turkey teeth. Did he go to turkey for the teeth? I think he's got some. I haven't noticed properly.
Up to date with Carl's cosmetic surgery.
No, not up to date with Carl's cosmetic procedures. But I think we know he's had the rhinoplasty. I mean, you know, I suspect
maybe he's getting ready to transition, Raph.
Well, I suspect he's had the turkey teeth, and I was just about to say, who knows? Maybe the Brazilian butt lift next. Who knows?
I think you know the transition is on the cards. I mean,
it's on the cards. It's on the cards.
He's got a lot of feminine energy towards AJ.
He's got a lot of feminine energy towards AJ. It's just too much. It's just the one man could hate another man so much, you know. There's a thin line between love and hate. I think Carl's covering up for something. When we see him in one of Lara Wood's,
hell hath no fury.
Exactly. When we see him in one of Lara Wood's trouser suits, and and he's filling it out a bit too well around the hip region, then we will know. We'll know that he's crossed, he's jumped over the line, he's taken the plunge. Unless it's happened before in sports athletes.
Oh yeah, in
you've
boxing,
had, yeah. We've got Maloney,
Yeah.
Kevin Maloney, who is now Kelly,
Kelly.
who's now Kelly Maloney. Kevin Maloney to whatever his name was, to Kelly Maloney. In the Olympics, we had one of the Kardashian chaps, who made a spectacular transition. Whatever the Kardashian kid's name is, the guy who is now a lady. So there have been precedents set within the sporting realm and specifically within boxing. So, Carl, you won't be the first one, mate.
Do you know what, Raph? Do you
Yeah.
know what? I think a lot of this pent up sort of strange emotion is a result of female hormones as part of the process.
Oh gosh.
He's having too much estrogen, isn't he?
They're pumping in too much. The estrogen to testosterone balance, they disturbed it too quickly. You know what I'm saying? They should have just kind of leveled it out slowly, incrementally, but they've gone and put too much estrogen in the poor fella. And he's getting very, very hormonal. I don't know, mate. But Carl Froch, it's not a good one, mate. It's supposed to be Carl Froch, not Caroline Froch. Man up. Get AJ's you know what's out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Stop dreaming of AJ teabagging you, mate. It's not going to happen until you've made the full transition. You know what I'm saying? So
I still don't think it's going to happen then.
Still not going to happen then. I mean, hey, I'm saying, if you get him drunk, some of these girls are crazy.
I mean, when you're in a situation like Anthony Joshua, I don't think there's enough plastic surgery to make Carl Froch compete with some of the other females available to him.
All I'm going to say to AJ is do not accept a drink from Carl Froch.
Hypno's a real problem.
Yeah, that Spanish fly or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Kind of do not accept a drink from Carl Froch or his brother, whatever his name, the other one. Because he looks like he's pregnant, the other one. So, so just stay away from the Froches. Stay away from the Froches. The bronze plumber is up in the building. Wilder versus Fury grew from the same boxing cancerous source. Wilder and Fury. Oh, yeah, Wilder and Fury. Yeah, well, different sources, but the same outcome. But to be fair, Wilder's even worse than Fury because at least Wilder stepped up and fought one of the Klitschko's. Well, if you can call it fighting, but he got in there.
I prefer competitive take to describe
Yeah, he did something in there. At least he stepped in the ring.
Do you remember Kabaddi, Raph?
Kabaddi, the Indian wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It was like a non-contact form of Kabaddi.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. That's a very good way of putting it. Non-contact Kabaddi. That's crazy, yo. Caroline Froch. Think it's about McCracken, to be fair, but he's an odd one. McCracken, well, that's what I was going to pull up a quote. Let me see if I can get it up from Joshua. Let me see.
When you're hungry, dehydrated.
Right.
Yes.
An old nemesis, an old foe. We go again. It was interesting comparing that.
This thing's out of sync.
2015. Yeah.
It's out of sync. I'm
You
playing
guys are
it.
a bit more wiser, a bit more mature. That was interesting.
I can't remember the 2015 press conference.
It's out of sync.
We're gonna run it. Don't worry. It was.
Yeah, do you know it's a rematch? That's why they're looking.
It's a rematch. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'll be.
Would you like to know how?
No, I would not like to know. Let's play that. Yeah, but Joshua's. I'm probably not going to find it because this thing's playing up. But Joshua's.
Yes.
An old nemesis, an old.
No, it's still out of sync. The sound and the vision aren't synced up. But Joshua said something that was very interesting to me. It was in the interview after the press conference, and he said, I'm learning. I'm learning now. I feel like over at what's his name, Kevin James,
Derek James.
Derek James's place. I'm learning. I feel like I'm back at school, and it just re-emphasizes to me how Joshua was so hard-headed. Lennox Lewis told him, he says, listen, when you're at high school, you have a high school lecturer. When you graduate to university, you train under a university professor. But Joshua remained under McCracken. Joshua remained under McCracken's tutelage for far too long. Lewis was right. At high school, you have your high school lecturer. When you graduate from that, you go to your university professor. And I find out for himself. He says he's learning something. He feels like he's gone back to school. Feels like he's gone back to school. You know what I mean? He should have done that years ago. How long have I been calling? How long had I been calling for Joshua to go and get himself a full-time professional trainer? Not an amateur trainer, a professional trainer.
Well, I think when it comes down to loyalty, sometimes it isn't the best thing to do.
Oh.
Sometimes you need to be a bit more selfish, because at the end of the day, Rob McCracken is still in charge of Team GB.
Yeah.
And he's a multimillionaire based on the work that he's done with Joshua already. So that debt was repaid.
Yes.
And I understand why he was loyal to him.
Yeah.
I mean, when nobody else believed in him and he could have been kicked off the team, Rob kept him on the team. So if Rob hadn't done that, we wouldn't know who AJ was.
It's not strictly that Rob kept him on the team. I mean, I listened to an interview with the barrister, because it went to they actually employed a barrister. Team Joshua employed a barrister to speak on his behalf before the British Boxing Board of Control. So it was McCracken was a key part, played a key part, but he was a part of the team that kept Joshua on the team. They had a barrister who had to go in there, talk to Joshua, familiarize himself with the case, and it was a barrister who sat before the British Boxing Board of Control and presented a compelling case to them that Joshua should not be punished beyond a certain point, because that would interfere with his future, and his future is predicted to be very bright. So McCracken was a part of that team that kept Joshua on Team GB, and so he's to be credited with that. But it was a bigger thing than just McCracken. And I think, like you say, he was repaid. Loyalty up until a sensible point. You've been loyal. He's become a millionaire off you as a result of working with you. And now it's time to move up to a professor. So that's not disloyalty. But I guess it took Joshua some time to comprehend that. And it's understandable. We look back on our lives and we said, yeah, maybe I should have took this road instead of that road. Maybe I should have done that sooner. Maybe I should have done that later. We can all look back at moments in our lives and said, well, if I had to do that again, I might have done that differently. And I can't help but feel that if Joshua had to make a choice again when to leave McCracken, I can't help but think he would have done it sooner.
I agree with that. And I agreed with you when we were talking about him changing trainers quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I also didn't think he would because of the loyalty.
Right.
And I think it took really bad misinformation in the corner from McCracken against Usyk in the first fight for Joshua to just completely lose faith in him.
Yes.
I actually think it's gone to a point where the relationship got broken due, in my personal opinion, to McCracken's incompetence. It had to get that bad when it didn't need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of people say who were at the fight who could hear in ringside, McCracken and Clayton thought they'd beat Usyk in the first fight.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I think from Joshua's perspective, the frustration that they kept telling him to do something that wasn't working, and everybody who watches a fight, and he probably feels it worse than we do, they were telling him not to do the things that were creating success.
That's rough and rugged. Well, I had issues with McCracken before that.
No, I agree with those issues before as well. But I think it took it something that bad for the relationship to break down. And if anything, if he'd have left sooner, maybe they'd have left on better terms.
Yeah. If it's, but like I said, it's like we're older than Joshua. We've perhaps had more life experiences than him. He's had more, well, maybe not in sporting competitive, but overall in life, we've had more life. We've lived more life than him. And I know
it's hard though, Raph. I mean, you have to make those mistakes to know it's a mistake.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is that if you look, if I speak for myself, if I look back throughout my life, I can look at key points and said, yeah, if I could do it again, I'd have done that instead of that. If I could relive this situation again, I'd have done that instead of this. If I was at that juncture again, I could have done that instead of this. So I can look back and say, I'd have done that differently. I'd have done that differently. I can look back at loads of situations, key points, and said, I would have done that differently. With a younger person, and Joshua is a younger person, you make mistakes. That's a part of life. And I think that he will look back and say, I wish I'd have left McCracken sooner.
I think so. And I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Overall, certainly, I'm not young anymore, and there's a lot of things I would have done different if I had the time over.
Yeah.
But then I use that insight with my kids to give them advice.
Yeah. And you also use that insight.
That's what it's there for. That's what it's there for, isn't it?
And you use that insight going forward as well.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, loyalty is a bit of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
You can be loyal to a fault. You can be loyal to a fault, and it's when it becomes detrimental, because there's nothing wrong with saying you've done a good job.
Thank you very much.
I've got a lot of time for you as a person, but it's the right time for me to move on. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of life experience to appreciate that that's not, doing something untoward or being disloyal or not having someone's back. It's not necessarily any of those things. It's just you have to do what's right for you, particularly with a sports career. Because how long have you really got?
Yeah, not long. Not long.
I mean, Joshua's fortunate in that within his career, from a financial point of view, he's probably set himself and his son up for life, for his son's life, possibly his grandkids' life.
Yeah.
Because I think he's been quite smart with his money and he's paid a lot.
Yeah. The bronze plumber says Froch stayed with McCracken, but AJ don't have no Froch chin or Froch heart. Should have moved. Well, Froch chin, that's a middleweight chin, isn't it? That's not a heavyweight chin.
Exactly.
a middleweight chin. Froch has got a middleweight
yeah.
chin. He hasn't got a heavyweight chin. So let's not get confused about what kind of chin Carl
I
Froch.
don't think Carl Froch is getting up from a straight right from Vladimir Klitschko down the pipes.
No, he's got a middleweight chin. He's got a little middleweight chin. There's a difference, my friend. He's not a heavyweight. There's a big difference in between his little middleweight chin, which would get smashed in several places if Anthony Joshua cracked him. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what? When they were rematching in Saudi, Froch was getting interviewed talking about how he didn't think Joshua was going to win. And he was saying, I can't understand Joshua's situation because I've never been knocked out like that. And I was like, but you've never got in there with anybody over 168 pounds.
For real.
How can you talk as if you're on the same level?
Yeah, he's not on the same level.
The whole point of why the heavyweight division is a glamour division is because everybody has got enough power to knock everybody else out.
Exactly.
There are very, very, very few heavyweights who've never been put on the canvas.
Yeah.
Things like Oliver McCall and maybe George Chevalier, and that's about it.
That's about it, mate. And that's about it. The middleweight chin is not a heavyweight chin. You know what I'm saying? And the middleweight, what do you say? Didn't have a chin or heart. The middleweight heart is not as big as the heavyweight heart. It's it's just the equivalent of a rabbit heart. Yeah, it's nice little heart. Well, it's not the same thing, my friend. It's not the same thing. Don't get confused with a middleweight chin or a middleweight heart and a heavyweight chin. The heavyweight it's like two different games. You may as well say it's like two different sports, two different worlds.
Let me ask you this, Ralph.
Yeah.
If you get put down and you don't know where you are, and you keep getting up and you keep fighting, is that someone who has a heart or doesn't have a heart?
That's somebody who's got a hell of a heart.
Yeah. And then you lose the fight. Everybody tells you, no, there's no point trying to do the rematch. Do the immediate rematch and you go and win. You do
the immediate rematch and you go and win. And now I have on this very channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. If you, after the show, if you type in, go to my channel and whatever, and type in Sarah Fina, Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, do what you got to do. An interview will come up with Sarah Fina, who had one of her fighters in the camp, the Joshua Ruiz 1 camp, who testifies right here on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio that she got intelligence back from her inside sources that Joshua had been concussed prior to the Ruiz 1 fight. Okay, so you don't have to take it from the Raphie. Go and type in after the show, Sarah Fina, Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, and that piece will come up. So then, as Carl Froch got into a fight concussed, remember, you shouldn't do that. It's highly dangerous. That's 1. 2, as Carl Froch come back to finish on his feet with the adversity that Joshua faced fighting concussed. No. Simply not.
And another thing, Rap. He lost to Usyk, and he had the heart to go back in there again, have a better losing effort than the first effort.
Yeah.
This is a man that Tyson Fury keeps ducking.
He's fought one man twice. He's fought one man twice.
Someone else won't fight.
He's fought one man twice that Luke won't fight once. Let that sink in, Froch. Let that sink in, the Bronze Plumber. I'll say it again for the people in the back.
There's no shame in losing. There's only shame in ducking. That's it.
There's more shame in ducking than there is in losing. If you lost, it means that you've actually stepped up. If you haven't lost to a particular fighter that you haven't, well, obviously you haven't fought him, have you? So you can't lose to him. So how you the likes of LGBTQWD40 Froch, how the likes of him, who never fought at that level, sorry, you didn't fight at that level. You made a few mil. Congratulations to you. I've heard you made some wise investments in property for rental and whatnot. You had a little bar in Nottingham City Centre there, I heard. But, you know, people kept on getting shanked up in there. So I think that's closed down now. So, yeah, it's made some wise investments. Congratulations. But you didn't operate at the level that Joshua operates. You quite simply did not. You did not. Joshua should have walked in and told the British Boxing Board of Control that he was going to start cracking some chins. Going to start cracking some skulls. The only time Froch actually boxed was when he fought Arthur. The same one time I saw him live expecting a war, all the way to Helsinki to see a frigging boxing masterclass and a Chisora robbery. Relative chin, Froch did not have to box whatever weight, so he could spare with McCracken. AJ should have moved. McCracken could not save him. McCracken could not. Well, McCracken couldn't teach him. McCracken's an amateur teacher by and large. He teaches amateurs and he twilights with a bit of, you know, with a bit of professional work. But it was McCracken wasn't the one. The McCracken was the one to get him through to the amateurs and start his professional career. But he should have made the move, like Lennox Lewis said, like I've been advocating for years. Make the bloody move. And unfortunately, you know, he left it till there was multiple adversities, because I was advocating the change way before the Usyk fights, So, you know, stayed with Froch too long, but it's life and experience, and who have you got around you to guide you? Some things you know, you find out for yourself. Some things you find out for yourself on your own dime. Live and learn. Fortunately, he's still young enough to rectify certain things. Still young enough to rectify certain things. So it ain't over yet. Froch heart and belief kept him going in the Taylor fight, getting battered throughout, risked everything in the final round, didn't see balls out. Oh Lord. I mean, Froch would like that, wouldn't he? Versus Usyk in the final round. Should have moved earlier. Who has Froch ever fought? The bronze plumber. Please give me a name. Who has Froch ever fought of the caliber of Alexander Usyk?
Well, I mean, he probably has fought someone arguably of that caliber in Andre Ward.
SOG?
Yeah, but he lost.
Yeah.
And he got outmanned as well.
Hold on. Who do you think is the better fighter, SOG or Usyk?
Usyk.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare. They're very different stylistically.
Different styles.
Like really different styles.
Well, you could argue that. Could you argue that SOG lost the first Kovalev fight?
I think he lost the first Kovalev fight.
Boom. I don't think he's Usyk's level. He's a great fighter. But my question is,
you can still argue the case, because at this point that was moving up a weight class. So yes. Usyk's won moving up a weight class.
Yeah.
But we don't know how long that winning streak's going to last for. At super middleweight, which was Andre Ward's true weight, he was pretty much unbeatable.
Right. Yeah.
And he also won a super, a world, like an equivalent super, like World Series, whatever.
Yeah.
Super Series type tournament to become either undisputed or unified. I can't remember who actually undisputed.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Until we've had the end of Usyk's career, it's difficult to compare.
Difficult to compare, but either way, Carl Froch was found wanting, and he got out-strengthened and outmanned by Andre Ward as well. The bronze plumber. I'm going back to you in a second, bronze plumber, but I agree Joshua Chin is actually underrated, and he does have heart, but proportion-wise, pound for pound, Froch may have been a bit tougher. AJ's just, but you see, this is, I hear what you're saying, but it don't work like that. You don't just blow up a guy and say, okay, well, if you add six inches on him, and then you add 5 more inches around the circumference of the bicep, and then no, it doesn't really work that way, does it? Because you look at an ant, and you say, if that ant, pound for pound, that ant is stronger than 100. One ant is stronger than 100 gorillas. You could say that, but if you actually blew the ant up, it doesn't work. There's no animal like an ant that's 6 foot long. Do you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't work in reality. You can say on paper, an ant is the equivalent of has the equivalent strength of 100 gorillas. You can say on paper, but it doesn't actually. You can't actually make the ant blow up. You know what I'm saying? So it just works on paper. On paper, yeah. But in actual fact, in actuality, let that person be an Usyk who goes up from one weight class to another, and then it's a reality. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm explaining. Shame, because that pretty much only guy who could still devastate most impact combo. Let's have a look. Ward was just dirty. Usyk is a way better fighter. Ward did lose to Kovalev, but heart and belief. Did AJ risk everything in the final round? So, well, if you're saying Ward was a dirty fighter and Usyk is a way better fighter, then you're just proving my point. Froch lost to a fighter who, by your own admission, was not of the caliber of an Usyk, which is the guy that Joshua lost to, unavenged.
Also, I think you're trying to say that in the last round, AJ was nearly knocked out. And I think you did some very good footage on your channel, Raphie, showing that actually AJ was slipping all the punches.
Slipping all those punches, I'm sorry.
So if you're able to slip the punches, and you're not about to go.
No, not at all.
If you look at the output in that particular fight, it's one of the highest output heavyweight world titles bouts of all time.
Yeah. So AJ was putting out. AJ was putting out the bronze plumber. He was putting out. Look at the fight stats. Look at the punch stats.
And I think that's why McCracken thought that they'd won.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the right approach.
No, it must
and I still wouldn't rule out AJ's capacity to actually beat Usyk. But I mean, maybe Usyk's got his number. We don't.
Well, listen, I advocated that Joshua should. If people generally agree that Joshua fought, I think the consensus is that Joshua fought Usyk that's better the second in the second fight. Now, what I had advocated, although I understand that contractually it could be difficult, what I had advocated was that Joshua took a fight with another southpaw in between the first Usyk fight and the second Usyk fight. Just get your eye in with another southpaw. That's what I advocated. And like I say, I understand that there could have been contractual problems and issues that would have made it difficult for Joshua to sit one fight out. But I don't think it would have been impossible. I advocated that Joshua take on another southpaw in between the first Usyk fight and the second. Now, if it's generally agreed, and it is, that Joshua was better in the second Usyk fight, then I say to you, imagine if Joshua had fought another southpaw in between the first and the second. And better still, well, now we can just leave it at that one variable there. So
there is one important variable, Raphie.
Yeah.
It was he switched trainers, and that relationship didn't work out either.
Who did he switch to now?
With Robert Garcia for the second Usyk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So not only did he have to go straight back into a rematch and come up with a totally different game plan and make a lot of adjustments,
Yeah.
he was trying to bed in a new trainer that ultimately didn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so if it's agreed that Joshua fought better in the second fight, imagine if he'd actually listened to the Raphie and had a fight in between that with another southpaw. He's just bedding in even better. You're bedding in even better. So if somebody asks me how do I think Joshua would do in a third Usyk fight, well, I say I would expect him to do better than he did in the second fight, even better than he did in the second fight. So if Joshua had to fight Usyk once every 6 months, I say eventually he'd beat him. I'm not saying that's going to happen. They're going to fight, and they're not going to fight every 6 months. But I say that he would get better every time. Expecting him to throw the kitchen. I think the bronze plumber. What's going on here? What was I talking about? I think the bronze plumber was expecting him to throw the kitchen sink at Usyk in the. Oh, the kitchen sink. Well, I mean, if you throw the kitchen sink at Usyk, I mean, if you're a Chisora, fair enough. But I think if you were actually in a boxing ring facing a very dangerous opponent, then you attack intelligently. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you attack recklessly with somebody who is so accurate. You have to be intelligent. It's got to be an intelligent attack. That's what I say. You know what I mean? Yeah, know what you're saying, Raph, but also argue it's unfair to say Froch not as tough as Joshua based on their sizes. Froch could realistically fight heavyweight. Well, if he could realistically fight heavyweight, then, why not do it? So don't know about that. That's why we have pound for pound, no?
There's a man called Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Who started off as a super middleweight.
Yeah, I've heard of him, yeah.
And he ended up holding a version of the heavyweight title of the world.
Yeah.
Mr. Carl Froch couldn't step up to light heavyweight. As far as I know, maybe he had 1 or 2 fights there. Definitely didn't go to cruiserweight, and as for heavyweight, no chance.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you answer your own question there, Uncle Burnt Apostrophe. You said that he could afford to. Well, what do you think would have happened to Carl Froch versus Joshua at heavyweight? He'd have got his skull cracked. That's what I.
Let's forget Joshua and let's look at contemporary.
Yeah.
The Klitschko's. I'd like to see Carl Froch fight one of them because I know a man that beat one.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've answered your own question there, Uncle Burnt Apostrophe. You said that Froch could fight at heavyweight. Well, how would he do at heavyweight against a Joshua? He'd have he would get fractured skull, mate. Fractured skull, that's what I'm saying.
No. Hold on. Rewind. He said he couldn't realistically fight.
Hold on a sec.
That's why we have pound for pound.
Oh, okay. I misread what you said.
Yeah, I did as well. But this is the point that I think we're trying to make. If you go down to flyweight, you don't see a lot of knockouts. There might be some, but a lot of the time there aren't. The reason that heavyweight boxing is considered to be more entertaining is because there are more knockouts.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, the way that the human body seems to be designed, at the lighter weights, the power isn't there to knock people out very easily. At the heavier weights, the power goes up disproportionately to the chin.
Yeah.
And that's proven, and that's why the heavyweight division is the glamour division.
Yeah.
And that's why the lighter weights are not as popular, because you get a lot of decisions. The way it works,
And it's always like that's always been the way it's been in boxing. I'm not saying there's no knockouts at lighter weights, but the frequency is less. So you can't talk about your own chin, which is what Carl Froch does, and compare his chin to a heavyweight's chin. And it's Carl Froch that makes these comparisons.
Yeah, and that's where the pound for pound fails, Uncle Burnt Apostrophe. You say pound for pound, well, yeah, this guy did this at the lighter weight, but the heavyweight game is different. When you go over certain weights, you know, there's it's a different game. It's a different game. Two heavyweights punching each other in the jaw is different to two featherweights punching each other in the jaw, or two welterweights, or two middleweights. It's a different game. It's one punch and done. You can go in there and literally wipe out a guy. We've seen multiple times in heavyweight history, heavyweight title fights, where a fight has ended in the first round. Or the second round. Now I put it to you, that happens far more disproportionately at the heavyweight than it does at the middleweight.
Probably one of Raphie's favourite fights of all time is very much in that vein. The Rumble in the Jungle. Ali wasn't in that fight. He must have been miles down on the card when he knocked George out.
There you go. Rumble in the Jungle. I lent somebody that videotape, never got it back. But then they lent me that car jack, and it's still in the attic, so whatever. You know what I'm saying? Them hydraulic jacks quite good. Fair trade-off. So that's not analogy, that reality alone. But the Bronze Plumber, Uncle Burnt Apostrophe, I put it to you just to highlight how different the games are. I put it to you that in the heavyweights, you know, looking through heavyweight history, you know, I think who took out Weaver in the first round? You know, Weaver got took out in the first round. Dokes, mans like Dokes, got took out early. You know, it's happened through heavyweight history where fights ended very, very soon. But you look at the percentage of time that's happened at the lighter weight classes. Very, very rarely. Of course, you have the anomalies like Hearns, Hagler, and Hearns. That's an anomaly, and that's classified as one of the greatest fun-packed, action-packed fights of all times. But that's an anomaly, you know.
Well, exactly. I mean, I think that fight even proves the point because it's still so well regarded because there's not a lot of other middleweight fights where that happens. Whereas you've got people like Shannon Briggs who are known for first round knockouts.
At the heavyweight division.
Exactly.
Not in the middleweight, not in the welterweight, the heavyweights.
You don't have middleweights who are known for first round knockouts, even if they are considered a knockout puncher. How many first round knockouts did Golovkin get?
Oh, damn, none, as far as I'm aware.
I mean, he might have had quite a few in the third round or something, but most of them were around 6. And as he went up, as the opposition went up, the knockouts actually dried up.
Yeah. You know, so that just highlights my point. Where are we now? Oh, there's a couple more. Could flop them on the table around something. What is that? Raphie, 2023, Sugar Ray Leonard was no better pound for pound than David Price because it's an invalid measure. What? How the hell does that work? What's your how show me your workings on that one. Sugar Ray Leonard was no better than pound for pound than David Price because it's an invalid measure.
Well, there's two things. First of all, we're not saying better fighter. We're talking about chins. So I don't see the point as being relevant because maybe Price's chin is better than Sugar Ray Leonard's chin.
But it
doesn't make any sense. He's basically saying that Sugar Ray Leonard isn't as good as David Price because we're saying that Cole Froch can't say his chin is better than Anthony Joshua's. But the bit that he seems to be missing is we're specifically talking about chin.
Yeah.
We're not talking about who's the better fighter, which is what the pound for pound. The whole reason the pound for pound list was made was because.
Well, it don't make sense anyway because that would suggest that David Price has a better chin than Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well, maybe he does because it's a heavyweight chin.
Oh,
but that's pointless because that doesn't mean that David Price is higher up the pound for pound list.
Yeah, that's one measure.
We're talking about chins, which I think has just completely gone under the radar.
Yeah.
And what we're saying is the heavyweight division is a specialist division because of the power that heavyweights have goes up disproportionately to the amount of punishment the human frame can take.
Yes.
And it's just the way it works, and it's always been that way. Everybody knows within boxing that once you get over 200 pounds, it's very difficult for someone to consistently take that type of power. And most people who weigh 200 pounds and above have the power to knock someone out.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's got nothing to do with better fighter. We're talking about chin.
We're talking specifically about chin, specific areas. We're talking about chin. We're talking about the difference between a heavyweight chin and a middleweight chin or a welterweight chin. There are differences, my friend. I think I clearly demonstrated that with the point that there have been high level heavyweight boxers who got took out within a round or two. It's rare that you're going to get a middleweight getting high level middleweight getting took out in a round or two, or a welterweight getting took out in a round or two. And the further you go down into the weight categories, the tiny weight categories, the less and less and less it happens. So
and also at the lighter weights, they're nearly always faster than heavyweights. There aren't many heavyweights out there who can move like a middleweight. That's why they made so much fuss about Muhammad Ali. And arguably, he couldn't move like Sugar Ray Robinson. He didn't have Sugar Ray Robinson's speed at all. He was just a lot quicker than the other heavyweights.
Yeah.
So the smaller man has the speed advantage. The bigger man has the power advantage.
Yeah.
But what doesn't go up in an incremental scale is the ability to take a punch. That's what we're saying.
Indeed. AJ was losing both fights, both times. He knew he had 3 minutes to save it. I say he did not do enough. You say he did great. He lost both. I never said he did. Well, why are you now misrepresenting the Raphie's words, old boy? Why are you misrepresenting the Raphie's word? What the Raphie did say was that Joshua had a high punch output, as did Usyk, as he always does. What I said was that if you go back and check the punch stats, it was a high punch output fight. So for you to say that Joshua didn't put the necessary into it, he put more than any of Usyk's previous heavyweight competitors did. Anyone who competed against him at heavyweight, the numbers state that very, very clearly. So to say that Joshua didn't perform with gusto, I say go back and look at the stats. Did he have the right trainer in his corner? I say no, not for either of the fights. So he wasn't properly prepared for either of the fight, but he got better from the second one. From the first to the second, he got better. I also say if he'd have fought another southpaw in between the first and the second fight, he'd have performed even better in the second fight. I also say if he fights Usyk a year from now, he'll do better in the third fight than he did the second. To say Joshua didn't put extreme effort into particularly the second fight, I think the punch stats will clearly demonstrate to you that you are mistaken. You also say that Usyk could have well, was it Usyk who said he could have finished Joshua in the last round of the second fight? Well, no, he quite clearly couldn't have. Otherwise, he would have done. And in the last round of the first fight, well, no, he quite clearly couldn't have, because he tried and Joshua slipped a lot of the bulk of those punches. So I say that you underestimate Joshua's effort, but that's okay. George Groves must really bang hard. He dropped him, almost killed Froch. Poor Froch. I him do the splits.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, made him do the splits.
It's not like Froch has never touched the canvas, is it?
Never touched, almost did the splits. Fair enough, I get your points. It's just reconciling against the pound for pound. But it's no biggie. Just leave it there. We went way beyond that, my friend. I mean, we're here to discuss. You know you at the RDCR. You know what we do over here. You know that we go into microscopic examinations. You know that's what we do. Rumble in the Jungle, that finished. What round did that finish in? Was it the seventh?
I want to say the seventh. It was the mid-round.
Yeah. Something around there. I think it's an open-ended weight of heavyweight, really, that's responsible for that disparity of more KOs there, i.e. a 250-pound guy can fight a 250-pound guy. Know what I mean? Well, yeah, but they're roughly, apart from Wilder, they're roughly 20 pounds between each other, apart from Wilder.
Well, I'd still disagree with that, because you see more knockouts at cruiserweight than you do at flyweight. You see more knockouts at light heavyweight than you do at flyweight.
Mm.
It's not that you don't get them; there's just more of them.
For real. Heavyweight, and what's that? SMW, super middleweights are not comparable. But balls are balls. You either flop them on the table or you don't. AJ don't. Froch did. Shell shock. Well, Froch is a lesser fighter with a lesser competition. We established that. Shell shocked since Fat Boy barbecued his butt. Well, I told you I have an inside source who has an inside source to that. I made a video about it. The evidence is there. It's on Tracks, it's on Wax. After the show, you'll type in Serafina and then Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, and that will come up. And she will tell you out of her very pretty mouth.
I think what he's actually saying is, since he lost to Ruiz, he's been fighting scared.
Balls are balls. You flop them on the table. AJ don't. Froch did. Shell shocked. Oh, shell shocked since Fat Boy. Oh, he's shell shocked. Well, listen. Be fought concussed, and that's a very bad thing to do. And there have been consequences to doing so. I would agree. Also, not with the right trainer. There are consequences to those things. It was a mistake for him to fight Ruiz at the time he did. He should have pulled out, but it was his Madison Square Garden, America debut. Didn't want to let people down. Hey, we make mistakes in life. The Bronze Plumber. Do I detect a note of sarcasm? What's going on here? Where are we next? Sugar rate don't compare to pricey. What's going on? P.S. I admire AJ. He's entertaining, a major positive to the sport. He has taken on the best. He's just not a natural fighter, and he's totally lost his beast mode. He needed that beast mode against Usyk. Well, listen, you're complaining about how Joshua fought against Usyk. you've got a guy there who I'm sure I assume you're a fan of, and in the form of Luke Fury. He's running scared of the bloke. So you're criticizing the guy who fought the bloke twice, talking about Usyk, and you have and you're not doing so against the guy who's running scared of Usyk, which is Luke Fury running scared. But you're rebuking the guy who went in there against him 2 times. You don't make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I think the thing is, when AJ was going beast mode, all the boxing pundits were talking about how he's going to get found out, how he can't box, how he's defensively irresponsible. So I just think AJ gets more scrutiny than anybody else. We didn't hear all this scrutiny about Fury's shaky defense when he had his face cut open like by Wally.
Yeah.
We heard that he fights down to the level of his opponents. And AJ never gets any credit. We'll never hear anything about him being the first man to knock out Povetkin, which is a tremendous achievement when you actually look at Povetkin's record.
Yeah.
And then look at what Charles Martin did to Big Baby.
Jared Anderson.
Yeah, only the other day.
Yeah.
And that's a spent Charles Martin with less ambition than when AJ dealt with him in 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But all we ever heard was that Charles Martin was the worst heavyweight champion in history.
For real. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So I just think AJ gets more scrutiny than everybody else, but he's the only person who actually wants to try and make fights.
Yeah.
The other 2 idiots who've held belts during that same period have done all this talk without ever backing it up. Yeah. And now we've got Usyk, who does want to make the fights, but unfortunately for boxing, certainly over here, he's not particularly entertaining.
No.
He's not. He's a bit of a weirdo.
Yeah.
You know it's going to points. He's not knocking any heavyweights out.
Yeah.
He didn't really knock anybody out at cruiserweight. Style's predicated on scoring points and having a lot of stamina. So you know he's going 12 rounds, which is not what makes heavyweight boxing entertaining.
No. I think there's a lot of love for Usyk, but really, when the chips are down and you actually look at his style, he's a points fighter. He's a points fighter. That's what it boils down to. Usyk is a points fighter. So when people settle down and stop slobbering on him, the truth will be he was a points fighter extraordinaire.
He's also, in my opinion, glass to the body, and somebody just needs to take a persistent body attack to him.
I've been looking forward.
Not be afraid to get hit.
I've been looking forward to somebody exploiting to the body because I've seen him get dropped to the body. I think it was, I think it could have been Beterbiev who did it in the amateurs. I'm not sure. So what is it? The bronze plumber. So RD8 is just after halfway. So nothing to do. Around 8 is just after halfway. Nothing to do with last round table flopping. Just after, I'm not sure. I think you're talking about Rumble in the Jungle there. I was talking about early stoppages in the heavyweights. How many early stoppage you can have? High level competitors get stopped early in the heavyweight, much more so than in the lighter weight categories, which demonstrates how different the heavyweight division is. It's a different animal.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
How many world title fights did he win in the first round? It's quite a few.
Quite a few. Several. I know. I pretty much think that Weaver got took out. Mike Weaver got took out in the first or second round. I can't remember. I remember him getting ambushed. Could that have been by Dokes? I think Dokes may have got ambushed in the first or second round. There's a number of.
Well, that's what it was, wasn't he? I mean,
yeah.
For me, Mike Tyson wasn't necessarily that big a puncher. He had the fastest feet, and his accuracy and speed with both hands meant people got hit with things they couldn't see. So they couldn't brace themselves, so they got knocked out.
For real. Fury also ducked Pulev. Good Lord, terrible. David Tua was a quick finisher too. Boom. You know what I'm saying? The heavyweights are a different animal.
Sonny Liston, you know, he's my favourite fighter. He's got plenty of first round knockouts.
Is your favorite fight now? I thought it was Joe Louis. You're switching up. You're switching on us. You're switching up on us, John Daly. John Daly is switching up on us.
Hold on a minute, Raphie. Hold on a minute. I'll be very, very clear about this. Joe Louis is my ranked number one heavyweight. Right. You can't rank Sonny Liston as number one because he hasn't got the body of work.
For real. In
terms of just favourite fighter,
yeah.
Sonny's my favourite fighter. He's not my number one heavyweight.
It's the first time we've heard this on the RDC, right, John?
I thought this was pretty clear when we did that rewatch of Sonny versus Cleveland Williams. The whole reason I wanted you to do that particular fight is it's one of my favourite fights.
Yeah. Well, Sonny was a hell of a Sonny Liston, one hell of
a. I mean, he won his world title and defended his world title.
Yeah.
By first round stoppages.
Boom. And well, you know, you can't put any clearer than that. I mean, first round, people. Or is it Bronze Plumber? Wait, the Bronze Plumber. What are you saying, my friend? What are you saying? Where are you? David too, also absolutely. Fury also, Dr. Pulev. Damn, that's Aaron Daly up in the building. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button as we come to a close. The show, it's gone longer than I had anticipated, but some good boxing talk, some premier boxing talk over here at the RDCR, which you'll become accustomed to. I know we spoil you sometimes. Usyk is a great athlete. Before the second AJ fight, many commentators were saying, go to the body. AJ failed to rip into it. Don't hooker. So don't box a great boxer, beast him. Well, I mean, the Bronze Plumber, I mean, it sounds like you want to get in there instead of AJ. You know what I'm saying? Sounds like you want to get in instead of AJ and show him how it's bloody well done, mate. You know? Take your jacket off.
To be honest, I agree with that assessment.
I agree with the assessment, bro. I mean, the Bronze Plumber is giving the impression that all you got to do is do this, do that, you know, do a bit of this and you're good. Nah, it's a bit more tricky than that, the Bronze Plumber.
Well, for me, in the first fight, AJ did go to the body.
Right.
Usyk was there for the body. And McCracken told him to go back to his jab. Consistently told him to go back to his jab. So, for me, I think that's what broke the relationship down because they were telling AJ he was winning by doing that as well. So, I agree with what he's saying. I actually broke the fight down on this channel saying that I wanted AJ to throw a stiff jab to his chest.
Yes.
Keep him on the outside.
Yes.
Something that we saw him do against Povetkin, against the shorter man. I still don't understand why AJ doesn't employ that more often because when he's fought shorter men, the best he's done is against Povetkin.
Yeah.
And what he employed was a very stiff jab to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then you keep your man at your range because he can't come in.
Yeah.
It's a much bigger target. It's easy to hit.
Yeah.
And he gets frustrated, he gets tired, and then you can take him out later on.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why he doesn't consistently do that against short fighters instead of trying to hit the head with a jab.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talked about going to the body. Joshua going to the body. It's not like, and nobody said that before. We talked about going to the body. We talked about body, head, upstairs, downstairs. Upstairs, downstairs. The hooks are available. The hooks are there. The backhand, which is the left is there against the southpaw. Sorry, yeah. Well, the backhand is the right hand again with the orthodox. They use the backhand more, straight down the pipe, hooks upstairs, downstairs. The backhand straight down the pipe, upstairs, down. Even the backhand to the body sometimes. You know, so you got targets. So we talked about that extensively. The two thieves are turning their guns on each other now. Who are the thieves? Who are the thieves? The two thieves. Who are the thieves? And what did the thieves steal?
I really hope that's not a reference to us.
I fear that that's a reference to us. Who are the thieves? Who are the thieves, and what did the thieves steal? I think that's you're addressing John and I as thieves. Well, what did we steal? What did we steal?
If you go to my pre-fight prediction on Raphie's channel for the first Usyk fight, I highlighted the tactic I wanted to see him use, and I based it on what he did against Povetkin. Because Povetkin is a mobile, difficult target to hit. You can't hit his head very easily. Yes, the fighting style is very different, but he's a smaller, harder to hit target than Usyk. And the best way to keep Usyk on the outside is to use the jab to the chest, and AJ's got a 4-inch reach advantage. So Usyk can't touch AJ when he's on the end of his jab. The only way you can keep him on the end of a jab is to hit him in the chest. And I went through that in great detail on this channel.
That's
before that fight.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you can go back and listen to it because I'm sure Raphie's got it there.
Yeah, it's there, still up there. Everything's up there. And I would have liked to have seen Joshua rough up Usyk as well. Physically rough him up, getting the clinch. But Joshua hasn't been overly active in the clinch, and you can go back and a few years now with AJ Boxing Live and myself, where we did a significant portion of a show talking about Joshua and inside grappling. I offered, it was suggested I go down south and give Joshua some inside grappling training. And that was years before he fought Usyk, but you could have employed that stuff. The grappling, some people call it dirty boxing. You could have employed that stuff. You're taller than Chisora, so it would have looked different. But nonetheless, grab your man. It's a part of boxing. Grab your man and rough him up. That's a part of it too. Give him some digs to the body when you're in close.
Raphie?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the performance against Franklin then?
Franklin, I thought, under the circumstances, it was a decent performance.
But there certainly was more inside work than usual.
Yeah, it did more inside work than usual. And I thought it was a decent performance. So is he working on it? Yeah, I think he is working on the inside stuff. But he's a little bit late in the day for me. I mean, like I said before, I did a show with EJ Boxing Live years ago, talking about the dynamics of the inside boxing and that Joshua needed to have that. He needed tutelage in the inside boxing. It was a glaring hole. So from years ago, I knew there was a glaring hole in McCracken's tutelage. Glaring hole. Years ago. It's there. Inside boxing. Joshua, inside boxing. Dirty boxing. Years ago. It's there on the channel. Just a joke. Okay, I get you. I think you're talking about some old medieval two guys just pulling the whatever you call them, old antique guns and yeah, I understand. That's cooling the gang. I.e. you were united is all I meant. Listen, me and John, we have some good banter, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? We have some good banter.
Agree.
Say again.
We don't always agree.
We don't always agree, mate. We don't always agree. We're not here to agree with each other. We're here to do a program, to do a show, and it's not about agreeing with each other, mate. It's not. We're not here to come and agree. That's not what it's about, my friend.
I'm sure some of the most entertaining shows have been when we haven't agreed.
Well, it's more entertaining when we disagree. Although I'm not going to pretend I disagree when I agree, but the more entertaining shows will probably be into shows where there was disagreements. You know what I'm
I
saying?
refer Uncle Bern apostrophe back to when Raphie and I have debated over the #1 heavyweight of all time, because that's something we definitely don't agree on. And I'm sure it's in the back catalogue for you to go and enjoy it.
It's in the back catalogue for you to enjoy the fight shows and the fight topic discussions. I actually compiling classic live shows playlist. So I think there is actually a playlist with the classic live shows. I remember there were some classic ones with a friend of ours from Mississippi, friend of the channel from Mississippi, by the name of Tanaris Robinson. I was compiling some, and it's an arduous task. You just listen to clips, but there are certain shows I remember were controversial, and so I've automatically included them. But I have to go back manually, show by show, and listen to snippets of shows. Was this a classic? Put it in. I'm not gonna catch every classic, but there are some classics in there. So there is a classic live playlist on the channel. If you wish to peruse, you do so at your own risk. It's not complete, but I have started it, and just do little bits and drabs every once in a blue moon, but it will be a full and comprehensive list at some point. I think there's at least 30 classic lives up there at the moment. Suddenly arguing amongst each other, slightly risky analogy, although I thought might go over clearly. Mightn't. AJ pinned him on the ropes multiple times. Those were the times he had a chance to win. He failed to tyrannize himself. Tyson him, despite us knowing he can finish well. Tyson, we're talking about the real Tyson. Okay. We was talking about Luke for a second. I thought, what's going on? I have been robbed by John and Raphie outside of Dickersy Chickens.
Well, all I can say was it was nice couple of chicken thighs.
Hello, Pigeon. How you doing, my friend? I hope you are well. It's got to be Pigeon. Bloody Thieves, Reality's voice up in the building. What's going on here? Yeah, just lost in translation. Forget about it. Literally tongue in cheek. Hey, don't be doing any of that Carl Froch tongue in cheek business. OMG. Lols, listen, we've given you more than value for money tonight. We've stayed until it's almost the midnight hour. You've definitely got more than your money's worth. Hit that love heart. If you can't afford a super chat, hit that love heart. Hit that or whatever. Hit a bunch of buttons. But before we even go into the buttons, hit the like button. But before we go into that, John, thanks for joining me. A very good discussion to feed the people. You got any final words, John?
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, my final words are: there's no shame in losing, just shame in ducking. And I'm hoping the rest of the heavyweight division understand that. Thanks,
Boom.
Ralph.
Boom. That was the John D. Lee. It was nice enough to come and share his time with us tonight. Okay, we've gone into triple time. We've gone into overtime. That's triple time. So what's going on here? Why is this thing not moved? Okay, gotcha. So going to triple time, and it was a good one. It was informative. It was hallucinating. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it was uplifting. We lift your soul, we lift your spirits, but we don't lift shirts like Carl Froch. You know what I mean? If you want your shirt lifted, you're going to have to go to Carl Froch for those services. Love you, Raphie and John. I hope my late arrival thoughts manage to keep things going a wee while. Hey, you know, I'm more than welcome. I'm more than welcome thoughts and opinions, whatever they may be. You know what I mean? Still gotta get a slide digging. OMG. Of course, we talk the thing over here. And yeah, slide digs. Don't know what you mean by that, mate. You're gonna have to go to Carl Froch for those types of services. OMG. With just a little bit of light-hearted body shots on the cobbles. You know what I mean? That's why you're here at the RDCR. Thanks goes out to everybody who took their time to get up in here. Everybody who smashed the heart button. Everybody who smashed the like button. Everybody who thought about making a donation, putting something in the coffers. But if you can't do that because the economy is tight, and it's all cool and the gang. We chopped it up, talked about a whole heap of things. What's this here? What happens if I press this? What's going to happen if I press that? Nothing? Oh, that happens. There we go. That's good. Do I like it? I'm not sure. What happens if I press it twice? It comes off. I press it once, it goes on. Press it twice, it comes off. That's awesome. That's beautiful. So we chopped it up. We talked about Joshua Whyte. Did we talk about Ennis? No. Ran out of time. Do that another time. We talked about Fury, ducking, Wilder, ducking, Carl Froch, clucking like a chicken on the cobbles outside Dixie Chickens. Did we talk about Usyk and Dubois? Not really, but you know what? We just talk about the pertinent stuff. The stuff that keep us talking, whichever topic keeps us talking. You know what I mean? That's what we do at the RDCR, and it's been a good one. It's been a great one. I was tired when I came on, but now I'm alive. And now it's time to make my last cup of hot beverage. It might be a hot cocoa, and prepare myself for the long walk to the private quarters in the east wing of Dawkins Towers. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a good one. It's been a great one. It's been the Raphael Dawkins, it's been the John D. Lee, and it has been you, everybody. Thank you for taking your time out to share here at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. It's the Boxing Talk with Raphie, and it is the good night. Blessed.